I woke before sunrise because the pounding rain against my bedroom window refused to let me sleep. For 5 years, mornings had felt the same. Quiet, empty, lonely. I looked at the framed picture beside my bed and whispered, "Morning, Sarah." The smiling face of my late wife stared back at me. "I'll take care of Lily," I said softly. I promised. That promise had become the center of my life. I got dressed, grabbed my work boots, and walked downstairs. "Lily," I called. "I'm in the kitchen," she answered. I smiled without thinking. She stood at the counter making toast while wearing a gray college hoodie, blue jeans, and white sneakers. Her long brown hair was tied into a loose ponytail. She looked up. "You're leaving early again." "I have a bridge inspection today." "You've been working too much." I laughed. "And you've been sounding like your mother." She smiled. "I'll take that as a compliment." "It is." She placed a lunchbox into my hands. "You forgot this yesterday." "I really did." She folded her arms. "You can't keep skipping lunch." "Yes." She rolled her eyes. "I'm serious." "I know." She walked over and hugged me. "Be careful." "I always am." As I drove toward the construction site, I couldn't stop thinking about how quickly she had grown. Yesterday, she had been a little girl asking me to check under her bed for monsters. Now she was 19 and attending college. Time never asked permission before moving forward. At work, Michael, one of my supervisors, waved as I climbed out of my truck. "You look tired." "I didn't sleep much." "Still thinking too much." "When don't I?" He laughed. "You need a vacation." "I need 3. The morning passed slowly. Rain made every inspection harder. Around noon, I suddenly felt dizzy. Michael noticed immediately. "You don't look good." "I'm fine." "No, you're not." "I'm just tired." He shook his head. "Go home. We're behind schedule." "I'll handle it." I don't like leaving work unfinished. And I don't like watching my friend collapse. I sighed. "You always win these arguments." "Because I'm usually right." I climbed back into my truck and started driving home through the heavy rain. The streets were unusually quiet. I reached my driveway almost an hour earlier than normal. "Maybe Lily's still at college," I murmured. I unlocked the front door as quietly as possible. The house felt warm. Then I heard something unexpected. Laughter. A young man's laughter. I froze. My heartbeat became louder than the rain outside. "Who's here?" I whispered. The voices came from upstairs. I slowly climbed each step. My hands tightened into fists without me realizing it. Then I heard Lily laugh again. I stopped outside her bedroom. The door was almost closed. I pushed it open. Everything inside me stopped. Lily sat on the edge of her bed beside a young man about her age. He immediately stood. His eyes widened. "So?" Lily jumped to her feet. "Dad." No one moved. No one spoke. The silence hurt more than shouting ever could. The front door slammed behind Ryan. For several seconds, I stood in the hallway without moving. Lily's footsteps echoed upstairs. Then her bedroom door slammed just as hard. The house fell into a silence that felt heavier than any argument. I rubbed my forehead. "What just happened?" I whispered. I walked into the kitchen and poured myself a glass of water. My hands were still shaking. Part of me wanted to go upstairs. Another part was too angry to speak. An hour passed. Then another. Finally, I climbed the stairs and knocked on Lily's door. "Lily." No answer. "Lily, we need to talk." "I don't want to." "You don't get to decide that." "I think I do." I closed my eyes. "Open the door." "No." My voice became sharper. "I'm your father." "And I'm your daughter." Her words stopped me. "I've never lied to you," she continued. "You hid a boy in your room." "I wasn't hiding him." "You never told me." "I wanted to." "Then why didn't you?" "Because I was afraid." "Afraid of what?" "You." Silence filled the hallway. I leaned against the wall. "Why would you be afraid of me?" "Because you stopped listening after Mom died." Her answer hit harder than I expected. "I've spent 5 years trying to protect you." "I know. Everything I've done has been for you." I know that too. Then why does it feel like you've been keeping secrets? She answered quietly. I wasn't keeping a secret. I was waiting for the right moment. You should have trusted me. I wanted to. That's not an answer. No, she whispered. It isn't. I walked downstairs before either of us said something we couldn't take back. The next morning felt colder than the one before. Lily left for college without eating breakfast. She didn't even look at me. I heard the front door close. Then the house became silent again. That evening my younger sister Emma arrived without calling first. She stepped inside carrying 2 grocery bags. You look terrible. Nice to see you too. She placed the bags on the counter. Lily called me. I frowned. What did she say? That both of you are too stubborn. I sighed. She told you. Not everything. But enough. I crossed my arms. I found a boy in her room. Emma remained calm. And that's enough. Is it? I looked at her in disbelief. You're taking her side. I'm taking nobody's side. I'm trying to protect my daughter. Emma looked directly into my eyes. David, she's 19. She's still my little girl. No, she'll always be my daughter. Yes, but she isn't a child anymore. I looked away. You don't understand. She softened her voice. I understand better than you think. I stayed quiet. She continued. Fear isn't the same as love. I wasn't acting out of fear. Weren't you? Her question stayed with me long after she left. Later that night my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. A message appeared. Asterisk asterisk Mr. Parker. My name is Ryan Brooks. I'm sorry for today. I never meant to disrespect you. Please give me one chance to explain. Asterisk asterisk. I stared at the screen. Without replying, I locked my phone and placed it face down on the table. I convinced myself I was doing the right thing. Deep inside, however, doubt had quietly begun knocking on the same door that anger had locked shut. I woke before my alarm. The house was still quiet. Lily had already left for college without saying goodbye again. I stared at the empty chair where she used to eat breakfast with me. I miss you already, I whispered. Work did not make the feeling disappear. I kept thinking about Emma's words. Asterisk, fear isn't the same as love. Asterisk. By lunchtime, Michael noticed I had barely touched my food. You've been somewhere else all morning. I've got problems at home. Want to talk about them? I don't know. He leaned against the truck. You've listened to my problems for 20 years. I remember. So let me return the favor. I sighed. I found Lily with a young man in her room. Michael stayed quiet. I lost my temper. And now? She barely speaks to me. He nodded slowly. You remind me of yourself 25 years ago. I frowned. What does that mean? You hated it when Sarah's father judged you before knowing you. His words caught me off guard. That's different. Is it? I loved Sarah. What if that boy loves Lily the same way? I looked away. I don't know him. Then maybe that's the real problem. The conversation stayed with me all afternoon. When I returned home, the silence felt even heavier. I wandered through the living room without knowing what I was looking for. Then my eyes stopped on an old wooden chest beneath the bookshelf. Sarah's memory box. I hadn't opened it in years. My hands trembled as I lifted the lid. Inside were photographs, birthday cards, Lily's first drawing, and Sarah's favorite necklace. Beneath everything rested a sealed envelope with my name written in Sarah's handwriting. David. My heart skipped. I slowly opened it. The paper had faded with time. I began reading. Asterisk, my love, if you're reading this, it means I'm no longer beside you. Asterisk. My eyes filled with tears. Asterisk, I know you'll do everything possible to protect Lily. Asterisk. I smiled sadly. Asterisk, please remember something I need you to promise. Asterisk. I kept reading. Asterisk, protect her, but never control her. Asterisk. I stopped. Those words echoed inside my mind. Asterisk, one day she'll grow up. Asterisk. Asterisk, she'll make choices that scare you. Asterisk. Asterisk, she'll love someone the way I loved you. Asterisk. Tears rolled down my face. Asterisk, don't let your fear convince you that love is danger. Asterisk. Asterisk, trust the daughter we raise together. Asterisk. Asterisk, she doesn't need a perfect father. Asterisk. Asterisk, she only needs you. Asterisk. I folded the letter against my chest. It felt as though Sarah had spoken directly to me. That evening, someone knocked on my office door at work. Come in. The door opened slowly. Ryan stepped inside. He looked nervous but determined. I'm sorry for coming without asking. What are you doing here? I wanted to speak to you face to face. I already told you to stay away. I know. Then why are you here? Because Lily deserves better than silence. I crossed my arms. You've got 5 minutes. He nodded. I love your daughter. I said nothing. I'm not asking you to believe me today. Then what are you asking? A chance. Why should I give you one? Because I'm not trying to take Lily away from you. He looked directly into my eyes. I want to earn your respect. His voice reminded me of someone. My younger self. The young man who had stood before Sarah's father years ago. For the first time since opening Lily's bedroom door, I wondered if the person standing between my daughter and her happiness wasn't Ryan. It was me. I called Ryan the following afternoon. He answered before the second ring. Mr. Parker. It's David. A brief silence followed. I'd like to meet you. Of course. There's a coffee shop near the construction site. I know it. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I'll be there. The next afternoon, I arrived 10 minutes early. Ryan was already waiting. He stood as I approached. Thank you for coming. I'm still not sure this is a good idea. I understand. We sat across from each other. The waitress brought 2 coffees. Neither of us touched them. I broke the silence first. How long have you known Lily? Almost 2 years. How long have you been dating? 8 months. Why didn't you tell me? Ryan lowered his eyes. Lily wanted to. But she was afraid. I sighed. I've heard that before. I know. I looked directly at him. What are your intentions with my daughter? He answered immediately. I want to build a future with her. You talk like an adult. I'm trying to become one. What does that mean? I study engineering during the day. And I work evenings at a hardware store. Why? To pay tuition. Your parents don't help? They help when they can. He smiled slightly. But I don't want to depend on them forever. I folded my arms. If Lily wanted to leave college tomorrow and marry you, what would you do? I'd tell her no. That answer surprised me. You would? Yes. Why? Because her dreams matter. What if she insisted? I'd still tell her to finish school. I remained silent. Ryan continued. I don't want Lily to sacrifice her future for me. You expect me to believe that? I don't expect anything. He met my eyes. I only want to tell you the truth. For the first time, I saw confidence instead of fear. Not arrogance. Honesty. I asked another question. Do you love her? Every day. What does that even mean? It means I don't want to own her. He smiled softly. I want to stand beside her. His answer reminded me of Sarah. She used to say the same thing. Love walks beside someone. It never drags them forward. It never holds them back. When we finished our coffee, Ryan stood. Thank you for listening. I'm still thinking. I understand. Before leaving, he said one more thing. I hope one day you'll see me as more than the boy you found in her room. After he walked away, I sat alone for several minutes. That evening Emma stopped by my house. She noticed my thoughtful expression immediately. You met him. How did you know? Your face. What about it? You aren't angry anymore. I'm confused. She laughed quietly. That's progress. I expected excuses. And he gave me honesty. Emma smiled. I've always believed character speaks louder than first impressions. I judged him before I knew him. You judged him because you were scared. I know. She placed a hand on my shoulder. Fear protects children. She paused. But trust helps them become adults. Later that week, I decided to visit Ryan's university without telling anyone. The receptionist directed me toward the engineering department. Outside one classroom, a middle-aged professor approached me. "Can I help you? I'm looking for Ryan Brooks." "You know Ryan?" "I'm getting to know him." The professor smiled warmly. "I'm Henry Collins." We shook hands. "I'm one of Ryan's professors. I wanted to ask you something." "Go ahead." "What kind of student is he?" Professor Collins answered without hesitation. "One of the hardest-working young men I've taught. He really works after classes. Every evening. He never complains." "Never." The professor smiled proudly. "He helps other students even when he's exhausted." I thanked him and left. Driving home, I realized something uncomfortable. Every person who knew Ryan described kindness before success. That evening, Lily quietly entered the kitchen while I prepared dinner. Neither of us spoke immediately. Finally, I turned toward her. "Lily." She looked uncertain. "Yes. I'm sorry." She blinked. I should have listened before shouting. Tears filled her eyes. "I'm sorry too. I scared you. You hurt me." "I know." She nodded slowly. "I forgive you." Her words eased my heart, but I could still feel the distance between us. Trust wasn't rebuilt with one apology. It had to be earned, one conversation at a time. A week passed without another argument. The silence inside our house slowly became conversation again. It wasn't the same as before, but it was better. One Friday afternoon, Lily walked into the kitchen. "Dad." I looked up from my newspaper. "Yes. Our university is hosting a science exhibition tonight." "That sounds nice. I'll be there with Ryan." I noticed the hesitation in her voice. "You don't have to come." I folded the newspaper. "What if I want to?" Her eyes widened. "You do." "I've missed enough moments already." A small smile appeared on her face. "I'd like that." That evening, I arrived outside the university. Students filled the campus with laughter and excitement. Colorful lights decorated the walkways. Michael stood beside me. "I haven't visited this place in years. I asked you to come because I didn't want to feel awkward alone." He laughed. I knew there was a reason. We walked through the campus together. I spotted Lily and Ryan speaking with several classmates. Ryan noticed me first. He smiled politely. "Good evening, Mr. Parker." "Good evening." Lily walked over. "I'm glad you came." I said I would. She smiled. For the first time in weeks, the smile reached her eyes. After the exhibition ended, students slowly began leaving. Ryan and Lily walked ahead while Michael and I followed behind. Suddenly, loud voices echoed from the parking lot. "Hey!" Three young men stepped into their path. One of them laughed. "So this is the famous couple." Another pushed Ryan's shoulder. "You think you're better than everyone." Ryan calmly stepped between Lily and the strangers. "We don't want trouble." The tallest man sneered. "Too late." He shoved Ryan harder. Lily grabbed Ryan's arm. "Let's go." Ryan quietly answered. "I'm trying." The stranger reached toward Lily. Without thinking, Ryan blocked his hand. "Don't touch her." The man swung his fist. Ryan avoided the punch. "I don't want to fight." Another man charged forward. Ryan pushed Lily behind him. "Stay back." The fight lasted only seconds. Ryan never threw the first punch. He only defended himself and protected Lily until campus security rushed over. The strangers ran away. Ryan looked down at his bruised knuckles. "I hate this." Lily held his hand. "You're bleeding." "I'm okay." I walked toward them. "Ryan." He immediately straightened. "I'm sorry you had to see that." I frowned. "You're apologizing." "I don't like violence." "You could have run." He shook his head. "I wasn't leaving Lily alone." Michael quietly stood beside me. After Ryan and Lily walked toward the medical office, Michael spoke. "You saw it." "I did. He reminds me of someone." I looked at him. "Who?" "You." I laughed softly. I wasn't that calm. "No, you were even more stubborn." His words made me smile. A month later, Ryan invited me to meet his parents. Their small house looked modest but welcoming. His father opened the door. You must be David. I'm Daniel Brooks. We shook hands. His smile looked tired. Over dinner, Daniel finally spoke honestly. My business failed last month. I'm sorry. I lost almost everything. Ryan interrupted. We'll recover. Daniel looked at his son. You should focus on school. I can do both. You already work every evening. I'll work more if I have to. I quietly listened. After dinner, I asked Ryan to step outside. I'd like to help. He looked surprised. What do you mean? I can loan your family some money. Ryan smiled gratefully. Thank you. But I can't accept. Why not? Because my family needs dignity as much as money. You don't have to prove anything. I'm not. He looked toward the house. My father taught me that responsibility isn't something you hand to someone else. I nodded slowly. I understand. No. He smiled gently. I think now you really do. Driving home, I couldn't stop thinking about him. He protected Lily without asking for praise. He worked without complaining. He refused easy money because he respected his family's pride. When we reached home, Lily looked at me carefully. You've been quiet. I've been thinking. She hesitated. About Ryan. Yes. Were you disappointed? I smiled. No. For the first time. I paused before finishing. I'm proud of the man you chose. Tears filled her eyes. She hugged me tightly. I hugged her back, hoping this time I would never let fear stand between us again. The weeks passed more quickly than I expected. Life finally felt peaceful again. Lily laughed more often. Ryan visited openly instead of secretly. Sometimes we shared dinner. Sometimes we argued about sports. Those ordinary moments became the happiest part of my week. One Saturday morning, Lily rushed into the kitchen holding a large envelope. Dad! I looked up from my coffee. What happened? Her hands shook. I got it. Got what? My scholarship. I stood immediately. You mean? I've been accepted. I smiled. That's wonderful. She hugged me tightly. I'll study overseas for 2 years. My smile slowly faded. 2 years. She nodded. The university starts this fall. Only 3 months away. Everyone around the table celebrated. Ryan smiled proudly. You earned this. Lily squeezed his hand. I couldn't have done it without your support. I watched them quietly. Instead of celebrating, my heart felt strangely heavy. Later that night, I sat alone on the back porch. Michael walked through the gate carrying 2 bottles of soda. I figured you'd be here. I didn't tell anyone. You didn't have to. He handed me a bottle. You should be happy. I am. But I'm scared. He nodded. She's leaving. I already lost Sarah. You aren't losing Lily. It feels the same. Michael looked toward the stars. Children aren't meant to stay beside us forever. I know. Then why are you sitting here looking miserable? I smiled weakly. Because knowing something doesn't make it easier. The following afternoon, Lily knocked on my bedroom door. Can we talk? Always. She sat beside me. I've noticed you've been quiet. I'm just thinking. You don't want me to leave. I couldn't lie. No. She reached for my hand. Dad, I know this opportunity is important. It is. I'm proud of you. I know. But I'm afraid. She rested her head against my shoulder. I'll still call you. I know. I'll visit. I know. I'll always come home. Those words nearly broke me. A few days later, Ryan asked if we could speak privately. We met at the same coffee shop where our relationship had first begun to change. He looked unusually serious. Mr. Parker. You can call me David. He smiled. Thank you. He took a deep breath. I want to tell you something before Lily leaves. I'm listening. I love her. I already know that. But I won't ask her to stay. I looked at him. Why not? Because loving someone isn't about keeping them close. He paused. It's about helping them become who they are meant to be. I stayed silent. If she spends 2 years overseas. He smiled sadly. I'll wait. What if she changes? I'll still wait. What if she meets someone else? He lowered his eyes. Then I'll be grateful I had the chance to love her. His answer left me speechless. I would never ask Lily to choose between me and her dreams. He looked directly at me. If I truly love her, I have to support both. In that moment, I finally understood what Sarah had tried to teach me years earlier. Real love never demands control. It offers trust instead. Before we left, Ryan spoke once more. There's something else. What is it? I hope one day you'll let me become part of your family. I smiled for the first time. I think. I paused. I've already started thinking of you that way. His eyes widened. You mean that? I do. When we returned home, Lily looked from Ryan to me. What happened? I walked toward Ryan. Without saying another word, I held out my hand. He shook it. Then I pulled him into a brief hug. Welcome home, son. Ryan's voice trembled. Thank you. Lily burst into tears. She hugged both of us at once. For years I believed protecting my daughter meant holding on tightly. Standing there with both of them, I finally realized the greatest gift a father can give is trust. I hadn't lost my family. I had simply learned how to love them the right way. The morning Lily was supposed to leave arrived far too quickly. I barely slept the night before. When I walked downstairs, I found her sitting quietly at the kitchen table with a cup of tea. She smiled. Good morning, Dad. Morning. Neither of us mentioned the suitcases waiting by the front door. Ryan arrived a few minutes later. He knocked once before coming inside. Good morning. Come in, I said. He carried Lily's largest suitcase to the car without being asked. Emma arrived soon after. She looked around the quiet kitchen. I don't like sad goodbyes. Lily laughed softly. Neither do I. Emma hugged her tightly. Your mother would be smiling today. Lily's eyes filled with tears. I hope so. She would. The drive to the airport felt shorter than ever. No one wanted to break the silence. Finally, Ryan spoke. You'll call every day. Lily smiled. Maybe not every day. He pretended to look disappointed. I've already been replaced. She laughed. I'll call as often as I can. I listened without saying much. Every mile brought us closer to goodbye. When we entered the airport, the departure board reminded me how little time remained. Lily checked her luggage. The airline employee smiled. Everything is ready. Thank you, Lily replied. We walked together toward the security entrance. Then we stopped. No one wanted to take the first step. Lily turned toward Ryan. I'll miss you. I know. I don't want you to wait if life changes. Ryan gently shook his head. I'll build my future. He smiled. And when you come home, I'll tell you everything you've missed. She hugged him tightly. I don't deserve you. You don't have to. I just love you. He kissed her forehead. I love you too. Then Lily looked at me. Dad. I opened my arms before she could say another word. She ran into them like she had when she was 5 years old. I held her longer than I ever had before. I'm proud of you. She cried against my shoulder. I couldn't have done this without you. You already have. I'll miss you every day. So will I. I stepped back and looked at her. Go chase your dreams. What if I fail? I smiled through my tears. Then you come home. And if I succeed, you still come home. She laughed. I promise. Emma wiped away her own tears. Your mother raised a brave girl. I nodded. She really did. The boarding announcement echoed across the terminal. Lily took a deep breath. I guess this is it. Ryan reached for her hand one last time. I'll be here. I know. She looked at all of us. Take care of each other. We will, I answered. Then she walked toward security. Halfway there she turned around and waved. I raised my hand. So did Ryan. So did Emma. A few moments later she disappeared from sight. The silence that followed felt different from the silence after our argument months ago. This time it wasn't filled with anger. It was filled with love. On the drive home, none of us spoke much. When we reached the house, I unlocked the front door and walked inside. Everything looked exactly the same. Yet everything had changed. I walked into Lily's room. Her shelves still held childhood trophies. Family photographs still covered the walls. I smiled instead of crying. Emma quietly stood beside me. You finally understand. I do. You didn't lose her. No. You gave her the confidence to leave. I nodded. And the reason to return. That evening my phone rang. The screen showed Lily's name. I answered immediately. Dad. I've been waiting. I landed safely. Good. I already miss home. I looked around the quiet house. We miss you too. She laughed softly. I'll make you proud. You already have. After the call ended, I looked at Sarah's photograph on the fireplace. I kept my promise. For the first time in years, peace replaced fear. My daughter hadn't left me behind. She had simply become the strong woman her mother always believed she would be. 3 years passed faster than I ever imagined. The quiet house slowly became familiar again. Lily called every weekend. Sometimes she showed me her university. Sometimes she introduced me to new friends. Every conversation reminded me that she was growing into the woman Sarah always believed she would become. Ryan never broke his promise. He finished university. He accepted an engineering job. He worked hard without complaining. Every few months he visited for dinner. Not once did he ask about marriage. Not once did he pressure Lily to return early. He simply waited. One Saturday morning, my phone rang. Dad. I smiled immediately. Lily. I've got news. I'm listening. I graduated. I knew you would. She laughed. I'm coming home next week. I closed my eyes. Home. Yes. I've missed it. We've missed you too. The following week I arrived at the airport earlier than necessary. Ryan stood beside me wearing a navy suit. You look nervous. I am. You've waited 3 years. I'd wait 3 more if I had to. I smiled. You really love her. I always will. Passengers slowly filled the arrival hall. Then I saw her. She pushed a suitcase through the crowd. She looked older, more confident, more independent. But when our eyes met, she smiled exactly like the little girl who used to run into my arms after school. Dad! She hurried toward me. I hugged her tightly. Welcome home. I missed you. I missed you more. Ryan waited quietly until I stepped back. Lily smiled at him. You kept your promise. So did you. They hugged each other without saying another word. Some moments never needed speeches. A month later, Ryan called me unexpectedly. David. Yes. Can we meet? Of course. He invited me to the same coffee shop where our relationship had first begun to change. When I arrived, he stood immediately. He looked more nervous than I had ever seen him. Is everything all right? I hope so. He reached into his jacket pocket. Then he placed a small velvet box on the table. I'd like to ask Lily to marry me. I looked at the ring, then back at him. But first. He swallowed. I want your blessing. For several seconds I couldn't speak. 3 years earlier I had thrown this young man out of my house. Now he was asking for permission instead of forgiveness. What if I say no? He smiled gently. I'll respect your answer. But I'll spend the rest of my life trying to prove I deserve a different one. I laughed softly. You really haven't changed. I hope not. I reached across the table and placed my hand on his shoulder. You already have my blessing. His eyes filled with emotion. Thank you. No. I smiled. Thank you for loving my daughter the way she deserves. That evening Ryan came to the house. Lily looked confused. Why are both of you smiling? I laughed. You'll find out. Ryan walked toward her. He slowly knelt on one knee. Lily. Her hands covered her mouth. I've loved you for years. He opened the ring box. You've challenged me. You've inspired me. You've made me a better man. He smiled through nervous eyes. Will you marry me? Tears rolled down her cheeks. Yes. She laughed. Of course I will. I applauded while wiping away my own tears. Emma hugged me. I told you. You did. Sarah would be so proud. I looked toward the family photograph above the fireplace. I think she already is. As I watched Lily and Ryan begin the next chapter of their lives, I finally understood the lesson that had taken me years to learn. Love isn't about holding someone so tightly they cannot leave. Love is giving them the courage to chase their future while making sure they always know where home is. That was the greatest gift my wife left behind. It became the greatest gift I could give my daughter. And as I closed the front door after another family dinner, I smiled because our home had never been built with walls. It had always been built with trust,